Welcome to Neighborhood Update. New Bedford Creative, under the leadership of Margot Saulnier, is inspiring social, economic, and cultural growth through events, grant-funded programs, murals, sculptures. Art that will have long-lasting presence is telling the story of who is here. Art can be seen everywhere in the city of New Bedford, making our city more colorful and vibrant. And today we're going to talk about New Bedford Creative and a special project that is going on. Here to guide the conversation with me today is Marianella Perry, who is a senior fellow with New Bedford Creative. Welcome,
Hi.
Marianella. I've seen your name on so many emails, and so it's nice to connect the name with the face. So today we are going to talk about a special project called Arte Entre Amigos, which means Art Among Friends. What a great name. So tell me about that project. What is it? How did it come to be? And how is it going?
Well, thank you for having me today.
You're welcome.
And Arte Entre Amigos is
You said that so much better than me.
it's hard. There's a lot of R's in there, but it really is a counterpart series to what we currently have that's peer-to-peer sessions. Mm-hmm. And peer-to-peer sessions are really made to enrich and guide and connect the artists within the community. So with peer-to-peer sessions, normally what happens is we try to get artists that are willing to teach other artists. And sometimes it's not even just the teaching, it's a lot more networking. That's what we want to see. We want to see, oh, we've got, somebody who's good with textile art who can then show all of these other artists what they do and their specialty. And sometimes it's artists that don't know or have never done it, or people that are like, I want to try this, or I want to specialize in something different, and this is new for me. So,
and we are a multicultural city. We have many cultures living here, and
mm-hmm.
that is growing.
Mm-hmm.
And just by the name Arte Entre Amigos, with this project,
yes.
The artists that you are reaching out to are from the Latinx community, correct?
Yes. All of our Latinos, our Spanish-speaking artists are really taking advantage of Arte Entre Amigos because it's something that we haven't seen. Mm-hmm. It's different, and it is currently the first year we're doing it. I mean, we started in May, and we're full. We're done until the end of the year. We have artists scheduled.
How did you do the outreach? How did you get the artists that you have? How did you promote this?
Well, when I started with NB Creative, I started helping a lot of artists that were maybe shy to reach out at first. And then it was, oh, Marianella works there. Oh, she can help you with that. She knows what that means and can translate. And so it's sort of snowballed into there's someone there that can help you. Even mm-hmm. like, don't be shy, go ahead and ask her for what you need. And so little by little I started making connections with more of the Latino artists in the community. Mm-hmm. And that then became, hey, if we do something like this, would you be interested? And I didn't even have a name for it then, but when I brought the idea to Margot, she was like, run with it.
And there are many artists. We have many artists within the city, and I'm sure there are artists. Everyone doesn't have their own gallery. I'm sure there are artists that struggle as to how do I show my work? Where do I find a venue for that? So how does this work with this project? Do they get together in one space? Are there events? How do they come together?
So for right now, as it is the pilot, we partnered with the CEDC, mm-hmm. so that we could use their space mm-hmm. in the mix along with our office on Purchase Street. And what we're looking to do is to try to keep it centralized to where most of those artists
live.
Live and always meet. So the CEDC is one of those places where it's a safe place for everybody. So the first few sessions, we've had them there. The ones that we have coming up in August and September, there's one that is a yoga session that we're doing at Riverside Park. Yeah. And then the one in September that the artist is doing is at her studio at the Kilburn Mill. So we're changing some of the location towards the end of the series, but we also want to expand their connections with different resources.
So the art is not solely visual art.
No, it
there
isn't.
are different forms of artistic expression that these artists are sharing.
Yes.
Now, will there come an opportunity for their work to be shared with the greater public?
Yes, we actually do put the series that we have, we try to record what we can. There are some sessions that we can't really put out in the public just because of the privacy, and some topics go a little bit deeper into people's personal. So we don't put those up, but the ones that we can cut certain things out and edit the video so that we can share certain things with the public, and we put it on our YouTube channel at NB Creative. So we share that.
So can that be found through your website? Is there a link to that?
Yes, on YouTube. So
if anybody here listening to this and they want to browse and see this, they go to
YouTube and they'll go to the NB Creative channel. Yes.
Okay.
They'll find all those links there to both peer-to-peer and Arte Entre Amigos sessions.
Awesome. There is just so much. You know, New Bedford is a relatively small city of 100,000 people, but there is so much that goes on in this community, and there has never been a better time for artists than now. You can't speak about New Bedford Creative and not mention Margot Saulnier. She really has been doing amazing work. How is that for you, working under her tutelage? How do you like working for her?
Margot is a woman of many hats, I will say that, and it has been a privilege. It's really been eye-opening to see her in her art, because I feel like what she's doing is her art, and she's very patient, because everything that she does, sometimes I can't even catch her because she's like meeting here, call there, so speaking with someone here, and then random things pop up too.
So literally art is everywhere because Margot is everywhere. We can say
really
that.
It really is, yes. She takes her time, when she needs to, hey, look, I need this, but I need it to be done in this way. And it almost feels sometimes that we connected at the right time. And
How so?
Because I came in at a time where she was like, there's so much stuff going on. And
so she really needed that extra administrative hand.
Yes. Well, and Jasmine Baird was there before. She was the creative senior fellow before myself. And she was great to help onboard me. But it almost took a little bit of a different turn than what she was doing. And I'm grateful for that, because Margot was like, can you take care of this? Can you? So me entering the New Bedford creative team has helped take some load off of Margot so that she can also expand herself to every other direction she's being pulled in.
Right, because it's not just the art is everywhere and
Wicked
those
Cool Places.
Projects. It's the Wicked Cool Places. It's the events that go on, like Reggae on the Beach and so many. I just love my summers in New Bedford. My kids, all of which, but one, are in California. They're always saying to me, Mom, are you going to move out here? And I'm like, no, I love where I live. And through, through funding for New Bedford Creative, what it's doing in the city with all of the beautiful art that we're seeing, it's just making it a better place, visually, more beautiful place to be. And helping those who very often, as you know, artists struggle.
Yeah.
You know, it's good for the soul. Art is good for the soul, but it's not always the most profitable way to go. So can you talk about some other projects or other things that will be going on this summer, particularly, that is receiving funding through New Bedford Creative?
Yes, absolutely. So currently, we have relaunched ArtNet, which is a grant specifically for individual artists that were impacted during the pandemic.
That's awesome.
Yes, it is. And we already awarded the first 50, the first
50?
half of the year. Yes.
Okay.
And all of those artists received $4,000.
That's wonderful.
50 artists.
And is there
great.
any stipulation with that? Is it supposed to be used for something specific, or is that
to help them basically recuperate from that pandemic? A lot of people struggled. We've had artists that bought new supplies for their work. We've had artists be able to pay rent or past due bills. You know, we've had artists that were able to fund more of their projects that they were doing.
That's great.
Or improve their projects because they got that grant. We try to keep up with everybody and follow up with, hey, how's it going? You know, what did you learn and what did you use the grant for? We also, with the ArtNet grant, provide training and networking for all of those artists because we still want them to come together and learn from each other.
And it seems, and that's a really beautiful thing, because you really are doing that. You're building a network of artists, all of whom are very creative people. And so when you get all those creative minds together in a room, there's so much more that's going to be generated through that. So I think that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, and we just relaunched it for the next 50 because the total is for 100 of those artists. So we just opened it up. We started out with the wait list that we had just to kind of see, because we had to make edits to the application, the original application. So now we're testing it out with the first people on the wait list just to see what feedback we get and if it is easier to apply that way.
And artists can continue to apply for funding through New Bedford Creative each fiscal year. They can continue, or as grants are available.
Yes, with this particular ArtNet fund, if you were already awarded, you can't apply again. But that's for now until we work out, you know, if next year we also get that money, then maybe that would be a possibility to have repeat artists. It's very different from Art is Everywhere and Wicked Cool Places, which are project-based grants.
And those project-based grants, can you reapply for the same project, or does it have to always be something different?
It can be the same project. I've seen multiple projects apply, and
like Reggae on the Beach, for example.
Reggae on West Beach, yes.
That's an annual thing, so they could continue to.
Yes, and they were also awarded for this year. And there's a couple of projects that we see that are repeat projects, so those can be repeated. But for ArtNet specifically, so far it's just, you know, you apply, you get it, and then we'll wait and see, and hopefully they can apply again at some point.
So what about children and youth related projects? How does that work? Will you fund the organization that has youth projects?
Something like that, yes. So right now, that's really what I've been seeing, is that there's been projects that have been applying and they have been getting the funding to be able to do these projects with the children. So like one of them was Thais Martins-Real, who is the Yoga es Vida instructor. I don't know if you've heard of her, but she does the yoga for the kids. And that was one of the projects that was also funded.
Awesome.
So,
and those yoga classes will be where? In a studio, or is it in a park?
She does them in her studio at the Kilburn Mill. But she's also one of the artists that's presenting for Arte Entre Amigos. So one of those classes will be at Riverside Park and the other will be in her studio at the Mill.
And so tell me about yourself. How did you become a fellow for New Bedford Creative?
So, well, it was coincidental, I would say, because it wasn't on my radar. Justina Perry actually was the one that was like, hey, do you know of anybody that could do this?
And she too is doing a lot of great, wonderful things within the city with
she is.
NB by Black.
Yes, she's my sister-in-law. And
Oh.
so we're very close, and she started by sending me the requirements for the role. And I said, Justina, I don't know, do you think this is a good fit for maybe myself?
Are you an artist?
I wouldn't say so, but I do appreciate art.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you asked me this earlier. It makes me think about it, I love dancing. I love
Dancing
cooking.
is art?
I now I dance more as a form of, working out, but it's so fun. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But I did acting, I did modeling, and that was way before, I even got into this. So I do have a big appreciation for the arts and artists, and so.
And it sounds like it has worked out well for you. It sounds
Yes.
like you love what you're doing. Is that correct?
I would say I'm flourishing because it's really encompassing a lot of what I love doing. I love talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
I love helping people grow.
Mm-hmm.
And I also love people to feel included. So when Justina sent me that, I said, I read it and I said, can I handle this on my real estate? Ugh, I don't know. There was a big pause for me, and I had to receive that feedback from Justina saying, well, I don't know, maybe just try it, go for the interview. And Margot's great. So, and I'm like, I don't know. I was hesitant at first, but between her, Justina, and my husband, and just try it.
And I think
go
that's
for it.
I think that's a normal feeling whenever, folks are trying something new.
Yes.
Oftentimes there's that fear of, is this the right fit for me? Will I be good at it? And how long have you been doing this?
I've been with NB Creative for a year now, and it's
Okay.
gone by in a flash of an eye. It's just been blink, and I'm like, oh, where did the year go?
Mm-hmm.
So it's been fun. So,
And not only that, you are in the know on pretty much a lot of the, social activities that are
Yes.
going on within the community.
what is happening? That is, I know
And
what is
that-
happening.
That is amazing in itself. I actually was one of the judges for the Art is Everywhere, and I got to tell you, I was amazed at all the projects, applications for all of these different projects, and many of them, you funded quite a number of them,
Yes.
and it really is. It's pretty, and it's no surprise that's why tourists and folks want to come here and want to live here, because there really is a lot going on.
Absolutely. It was impressive. Thank you also for being a part of that committee, because I know you're a busy lady, but it is helpful when we have people that can say, we'll review all of these and we'll help you guys score. And it's tough because it's heartbreaking to say, oh, so many good ideas and projects, and then we can't fund all of them. And
Right.
that's where.
But you
gets
have
tricky.
to look at it this way too, that if a person has gone through the work of preparing the proposal, they've done the work. So
Oh, yes.
maybe the following year, if the funds are available, they can reapply. Hopefully people do that.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up, actually, because we do give people who didn't get funded the opportunity to reach out to us and schedule an appointment for feedback.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's important.
Yeah, so we're really hoping to see those projects that didn't get funded apply again when we reopen those applications.
So you're really encouraging creative expression and development within the community through the peer-to-peer counseling, having artists teach other
Yes.
artists. That's such a great program to have, or component of a program. And then working with them, giving them feedback on projects, what they could do differently, how they can
Yes.
improve them. So the city is really, through New Bedford Creative, given a lot of support to the arts community. And I think that's great, because art, not only is it visually beautiful, But the art that we're seeing in this city really is telling a story. It's also, whether it's a mural, it's telling a story about who's here, what their experiences are. And I feel that art, not only does it tell the stories, it brings us together, but it also allows us to realize the similarities between cultures and between all of us. And I think that's really important. That's a good, important feature of art as well. Would you agree?
It is. It is. It's that's why it is a rewarding thing to do. I mean, there's times where there's very different people, a lot of different artists with so many different things that they do. So it's very, and I have to tell people sometimes, well, wait, you got to walk me through this because I have no idea where to even begin to understand the art that you do to be able to help you through this process. So a lot of times it is connecting this artist with this artist, and let's get these artists in a room together and see what they come up with, and it is rewarding.
Now, for those watching today who might be thinking of an art project and thinking they might want to contact and be creative, you already mentioned the website. And so when is the funding cycles typically? Is it always the same for these grants?
Well, actually, I'm not sure because we do have to edit some things before making it live. I know that we just soft launched ArtNet, so we'll be doing an e-blast next month to allow everybody else to apply. And then Art is Everywhere and Wicked Cool Places will have to edit again before making it live, but we're hoping maybe by August we'll be able to put that out there just a little bit earlier than last year because it didn't really give people a chance to organize themselves and apply in time before the end of the year. So we're trying to give people a little bit more time to make it easier for the application.
So these projects that you are managing are all part of the APA funds?
Yes.
Right.
So the ARPA funds encompass ArtNet, Art is Everywhere, and Wicked Cool Places. So those are the 3 grants that I oversee.
So you receive additional funding as well as the APA. What I'm getting at is the APA funds have a life.
They do.
Those funds will, 2025 or?
I'd have to double check. I believe it is 2025. That's when
So
those
when-
funds would be exhausted.
So when those funds are exhausted, there's another.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a little early on. I don't. That would be Margot's other hat, where she would have more details on that.
Well, I know it existed before the APA funds, so I'm sure
Maybe there's more
I'm sure
going on.
Margot will find a way to make it
Make
continue.
it happen. Yeah. Well, I also wanted to say newbedfordcreative.org. We provide a creative directory for artists to sign up and share
Oh, that's great.
their art. So if they're doing galleries, exhibitions,
Pop-ups, things like that.
We have a calendar and it's linked to South Coast Today and it's all for free. So I always try to tell people, go to our website. It has so many resources.
And that's not just for the artists, that's also for those who appreciate art and want to
Yes.
go to some of these
Yes.
exhibits or pop-ups. So
Exactly.
anybody should be going to your webpage.
You got it. And we've got the grants right there. You click on grants and then you can see what's going on, what they're about, if it's the right fit for you to apply. And our contact information is there. So you can always contact me and, hey, I have this idea. Which grant do you think? And I try to provide the feedback from there.
Great. So we have many murals now, and I'm sure there's more in the works. What is one of your favorites?
One of
Do you
my
have a favorite
favorites?
mural?
This is hard. There's a lot.
There really is.
Downtown. I would say the work downtown. There's one with the musicians. I don't know if you've seen it.
That
I'd
happens
have
to
to
be
pull
my
it up.
favorite because
Though,
my
you know which one I'm
husband-
talking about.
Yes,
I don't
my
know the
husband
name
is
of
in
it.
that one.
Oh,
The
he
jazz
is?
musicians?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I don't know the name of it, but that has got to be the one that pops out to me the most. And maybe, I don't know, maybe it's the location.
Well, that's probably my favorite for personal reasons, but I also love the 54th, the Historical Society, the one that they commissioned,
Oh, okay,
which
yeah.
is part of the Freestones building.
Yes.
That mural that's amazing. When you drive down William Street and
We have a lot of talented people.
we do, and I know that's going to continue. And, you know, as I said earlier, I love that these murals are really telling the story about who was here, who is here, and we have wonderful stories to tell.
Yeah.
We have wonderful stories to tell.
Agreed.
So thank you. We are just about out of time. Thank you for stopping in, and it's so good, Marianella, to meet you and to chat with you. And I feel you are the right person for this position, so I'm glad that you did accept it.
Oh, thank you, Marci.
And thank you for watching today. And please visit the website, newbedfordcreative.org, and find out what's going on in the city, wonderful cultural events and art that is everywhere. Thank you for watching today, and we will see you next time on Neighborhood Update.